one of the things that the first important thing we did once we linked our AMR system with our GIS system was to look at all the transformers that were overloaded. So to find overloaded transformers, we would just run a query, and we have a whole list of queries here. We can go to transformers by percent. And if we look at average load, that's going to be the 24 hours in a day the way we have the report set up. So these transformers are going to be the transformers in our system on our peak day that had a load that was higher than 100%. Now, right now, you can see we have 23 transformers in our system where our peak day this year went over 100%. So if we're looking at these, one of the things that was important to us is we got the average load for the day, then we did our peak hour, and then what we did just to gather information was the non-incident peak. Because if a transformer has multiple people on it, eventually all of the different customers' peak loads are going to coincide on a long heat wave. So this non-incident peak of 300 is pretty scary, whereas right now you look at it in this transformer, it's near maximum capacity, but how much risk is there? Well, the 300 non-incident peak to me means there's a lot of risk. So let's take a look at that transformer a little more closely. So if we click on the button, we zoom right into where that transformer is. And so now this is a 10 kVA transformer that's serving 4 houses. You can't, let me just zoom out a tad. The way it zoomed in, I can see one of the secondary lines, but okay, so there's actually 4 houses served by this one transformer. So these 4 different houses all peak at different times. And if we run this report, we can see the 4 different people on the transformer and what they're doing. So now, because we've got the AMR system linked to the GIS system and the mPower product is kind of integrating it, so the address and name is coming from our billing system. The meter data is coming from our AMR system, but the way all of the things are grouped is coming from our GIS system. So we have 3 totally separate databases linked together in one PDF report. So the first thing we notice, we have one customer here who's the big user on this transformer. And the non-incident peak, we have this one user who has a huge load 1 hour of the day. And at some point, so fortunately, during our peak hour, this one user who's got the huge peak wasn't using a lot. But at some point during the day, he is. So to me, this is from our peak, our recent peak, this is a transformer that we need to upsize. Because at some point, his peak is going to be at the same time everybody else is going to be peaking, and this transformer is going to overheat. Now, when we first installed these queries, I must confess we had lots of transformers that were over 200% average. And so first we started with the over 250%, and then we went to the over 200%, and now we kind of play with the 150% to get those out of our system. So that was the first thing we did when we got the integrator system working on our system.